Hello, everyone. We hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, Jack discovers that Mother Loi secretly sold the house he bought for her and then disappeared without saying goodbye. Why would a mother sacrifice her final home? If you enjoy this story, please subscribe so you never miss our next video. Jack and Tu Tien carried medicine to Mother Loi's house that morning. A new chain locked the gate. Inside the yard, an unfamiliar man was removing a lamp from the porch. Jack called for his mother. Nobody answered. The stranger said the house had been sold. He showed Jack a contract bearing Mother Loi's signature and fingerprint. The payment was complete, and she had left that morning. Jack stared at the house as though it belonged to someone else. He knew he had spent his savings to buy it for his mother, but the memory of giving her the key had vanished. "Why didn't she tell us?" Tu Tien asked. "She only requested that everything be completed quickly." Jack opened the gate and entered. Mother Loi's chair remained beside the door. Her clothes filled the wardrobe, and her medicine waited in a drawer. Nothing suggested she had prepared for a journey. In the bedroom, Jack found the wooden box that held the original key. Beneath it lay a note written in a trembling hand. "I am sorry for selling the last gift you gave me." Jack tightened his fingers around the paper. He could not remember buying the house, yet the apology created pain inside his chest. "She believes I am no longer the son who gave her this home." Tu Tien tried to answer, but Jack turned away. Outside, the buyer continued removing objects from the porch. Each metallic sound against the ground felt like another piece of their family being dismantled. Jack looked at the empty doorway. Mother Loi had not merely sold her house. She had disappeared without giving him the chance to ask her to stay. Sunlight entered the empty house. Jack and Tu Tien searched every drawer for some indication of where Mother Loi had gone. Her clothes remained folded. Her shoes rested beneath the bed. Several packets of medicine had not been opened. Tu Tien realized Mother Loi had not prepared for a long journey. She had taken only her cloth bag and the family photograph from her altar. Jack sat beside the door. He tried to remember his mother living there, but his mind returned only darkness. Tu Tien found an old phone inside a drawer. It contained a video recorded when Jack gave Mother Loi the key. On screen, Jack stood before the gate and placed the key in his mother's hand. She cried while he smiled and embraced her. "From now on, nobody will make you leave your own home again." Jack watched without blinking. He recognized his voice and face, but not their happiness. "I made that promise." "The love that made you say it has not disappeared," Tu Tien answered. Jack stopped the video, but Mother did not believe that. Tu Tien noticed an envelope beneath the tablecloth. Inside was a bank receipt created that morning. Every coin from the house sale had been transferred to a man neither recognized. Jack studied the amount, then the possessions his mother had abandoned. If Mother Loi had not taken the money or prepared to leave, she had sold the house for another reason. A reference number appeared at the bottom of the receipt. Tu Tien recognized it from the documents concerning Jack's hospital treatment. The discovery changed the silence around them. Mother Loi had not abandoned Jack. She had been protecting him. That afternoon, Jack and Tu Tien spread the hospital records across the table. The number on the bank receipt matched an advance payment created while Jack was unconscious. Mother Loi's signature appeared beneath it as the person responsible for the debt. When the hospital required more money to continue treatment, Mother Loi had borrowed from an acquaintance. She told nobody after Jack awakened. The interest continued rising, and the final deadline was today. Jack remained motionless. He could not remember lying between life and death. He saw only the number that had taken his mother's home. "She sold her house to pay for your life." Tu Tien did not intend the words as blame, but Jack heard judgment. He called the person managing his company's shares and demanded documents to sell everything he still owned. Tu Tien took the phone from him. "If you sell everything, you will have nothing left for a new beginning." Mother has nothing left either. That is exactly why she hid this. Jack looked at her. "I must buy the house back." Tu Tien shook her head. "You were trying to repair your mother's sacrifice with another sacrifice." Jack fell silent. The hospital records rested beside the video of him presenting the key. One proved Mother Loi had kept him alive. The other showed he had wanted to give her safety. Tu Tien's phone rang. An acquaintance said Mother Loi had asked about an abandoned shed near the old farm. Jack stood. Dark clouds descended across the mountains. He collected his mother's medicine and headed outside, carrying the fear that they might find her too late before the terrible cold mountain night took its toll. Night covered the old farm when Jack and Tu Tien found the shed beside the forest. Its rusted roof trembled in the wind, while weak light escaped through the door. Jack looked inside. Mother Loi lay curled upon a hard bed, wearing an old coat and holding their family photograph. Fever colored her face. Her cloth bag was nearly empty. Jack pushed the door open. Mother Loi startled. "How did you find me?" Tu Tien placed medicine on the table. Jack knelt beside the bed, but Mother Loi turned away. "I sold what belonged to me. Do not sell your future to recover it." Jack asked why she had left her medicine. "I did not want to take anything else from you." Jack tightened his hands. "Do you believe I am no longer your son? You do not remember giving me the key. I cannot force a man without memories to pay for an old promise." Jack lowered his head. He could not deny what he had forgotten. "I do not remember buying that house. But seeing you here makes me terrified of losing you." Mother Loi froze. Jack placed her hand against his chest. His heart beat rapidly beneath his clothing. "My memories may be empty. Your place inside me is not." Tears crossed Mother Loi's face. She refused to return to the sold house, but agreed to leave with Jack and Tu Tien. As they walked from the shed, she heard Jack tell Tu Tien that he would sell his company shares the following morning. Mother Loi slowed. Fear returned. Her son was preparing to sacrifice his future for her, the outcome she had sold her home to prevent. Before dawn, Jack read the valuation of his company shares. A pen rested in his hand, but he had not signed. Tu Tien stood opposite him. "If you sell these shares, you will lose your final income. I can begin again. You are still recovering." Jack looked toward Mother Loi's room. "She lost her home to keep me alive. I cannot do nothing." Tu Tien pulled the papers away. "She sold her home so you could have a future, not so you could sell that future to recover it." Beyond the door, Mother Loi heard everything. She placed her room key on the table, lifted her cloth bag, and slipped outside. After sunrise, Tu Tien brought porridge into the room and found the bed empty. A note waited on the pillow. "If you sell your future to recover my house, I will never enter that house again." Jack ran into the yard. His mother had disappeared. He crushed the note, saying angrily that she had abandoned them again. Tu Tien stopped him. "Last time we searched for where she was. This time we must understand what she fears." Jack fell silent. Mother Loi was not fleeing her family. She was fleeing the belief that her presence forced her son to sacrifice again. Jack looked at the share agreement and folded it. "I cannot recover her house if doing so makes her afraid to return." Tu Tien nodded. The transfer would occur that morning. Jack collected 3 keys and placed them inside a box. He finally understood what he must carry to his mother. Not money, but a choice she had never allowed herself to accept. The answer was finally clear. The buyer stood before the house with the transfer documents. Mother Loi was there, her cloth bag beside her feet. She remained calm while workers replaced the lock on the door Jack had once given her. The buyer asked whether Jack had brought money to cancel the contract. Jack shook his head. He carried no share sale papers or payment. Instead, he placed the box on the table and opened it. Inside were 3 keys. Jack lifted the first. "This belongs to the house you sold." He lifted the second. "This belongs to the home Tu Tien and I share." The last was smaller. "This opens the room we prepared for you." Mother Loi turned away. "I will not become your responsibility." Jack moved closer. "A burden is something people are forced to carry. You were someone I choose to carry with me." Mother Loi's lips trembled. She said living with them would prevent Jack and Tu Tien from rebuilding their marriage. Tu Tien placed an envelope on the table. It contained money saved for their future. "This cannot buy the house back," she told the buyer. "But it can pay the penalty. Please give us 30 days. The buyer studied the contract, then agreed to postpone the transfer. Mother Loi protested, but Jack did not return the keys to their box. For the next 30 days, we will find a solution together. Nobody will sell their future or disappear alone again. Mother Loi looked at them. For the first time, she had nowhere to hide behind sacrifice. She touched the key to her new room without lifting it, yet she did not pull her hand away. They remained together, silently. Mother Loi followed Jack and Tu Tien home. She placed her bag beside the sofa and spread a blanket, saying she could sleep in the living room. Tu Tien lifted the bag and led her to the room at the hallway's end. The door opened. The room contained a bed, a wardrobe, and a window facing the lotus pond. Instead of Jack and Tu Tien's wedding photograph, the wall held a picture of all three sharing a meal. I cannot stay here. You are trying to begin again. I will make everything harder. Tu Tien placed the bag down. We cannot begin again by abandoning the person who kept us together. Jack stood in the doorway with the key in his palm. He did not remember giving his mother a house, so he did not repeat the promises from the video. You can stay until we recover your house. If we cannot, this will remain your room. Mother Loi looked at him. What if I become a burden? Then we will speak together. Nobody disappears again. Jack offered the key. Mother Loi accepted it, but did not put it in her bag. She placed it on the dining table beside the wedding ring Tu Tien had not worn. Tu Tien poured 3 cups of tea. Outside, wind moved across the lotus pond. Inside, they sat around the table without hiding their fears. The house had not been recovered. The debt remained. Jack's memories had not returned, and the ring still rested on the table. But beside it lay a new key. For the first time, all three stopped sacrificing in silence and chose to face the future as a family.